What if I told you? Most people reveal exactly what they're thinking, without saying a word. This is Behavior Explained. We break down the psychology behind everyday actions, manipulation tactics, attraction signals, and hidden motives, so you can see what others miss. Let's decode it.
Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head, again and again and again? You analyze your tone, their reaction, the pause before they responded, the way they looked away. And suddenly, what was a normal interaction becomes a full psychological investigation. Did I say too much? Did I sound stupid? Are they upset? Did I ruin it? If that feels familiar, you're not broken. You're caught in a cognitive loop. And today, we're going to break it down. Because overthinking isn't random. It's a pattern. And patterns can be understood. Overthinking is not thinking too much. It's repetitive, unproductive mental rumination. Psychology defines rumination as repeatedly focusing on distressing thoughts without moving toward resolution. Your brain believes it's solving a problem, but it isn't solving anything. It's looping. Overthinking usually shows up as replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, doubting decisions repeatedly, analyzing tone and micro-expressions, or predicting rejection before it happens. And here's the important part. Your brain is not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you. Your brain evolved to detect threats, not happiness. Social rejection, embarrassment, and exclusion activate the same neural pathways as physical pain. So when you replay that awkward moment, your brain is scanning for danger. It thinks, if I analyze this enough, I can prevent it next time. Overthinking becomes a survival strategy. But modern social life is ambiguous. There are no clear answers. So your brain never reaches resolution. And when there's no resolution, the loop continues. Many people who overthink are actually highly intelligent and highly aware. Intelligence increases pattern detection. Pattern detection increases scenario simulation. And scenario simulation increases anxiety. When you're able to imagine 10 possible outcomes instead of one, you don't just see opportunity. You see risk. People who are empathetic also overthink more because they're scanning emotional shifts constantly. They notice tone changes, facial expressions, subtle pauses. You're not weak. You're cognitively active. But without boundaries, that activity turns inward and becomes self-doubt. Another major reason people overthink is confusion between anxiety and intuition. Intuition feels calm and grounded. Anxiety feels urgent and loud. Intuition says, something feels off. Anxiety says, something is wrong. Fix it now. Overthinking feeds anxiety by searching for evidence. This is called confirmation bias. Your brain looks for proof that your fear is valid. And because the human mind naturally leans toward negative possibilities, you will almost always find something that supports your worry. You interpret neutral behavior as rejection, silence as anger, delay as disinterest. The mind fills in blanks negatively because it believes that prepares you. Overthinking also creates the illusion of control. If I think about this long enough, I'll prevent pain. If I analyze every detail, I'll avoid embarrassment. But research shows that rumination increases anxiety and depressive symptoms over time. Thinking without action keeps the nervous system activated. You feel busy, but you're not progressing. It's like running on a treadmill. Movement without forward motion. Modern life amplifies this. You can see when someone reads your message. You can see when they're online. You can see social interactions you weren't included in. Ambiguity increases. And ambiguity fuels rumination. Your brain tries to solve puzzles that don't require solving. And because negative events weigh more heavily than neutral ones in the brain, you remember awkward moments longer than smooth interactions. That's negativity bias. So how do you interrupt the loop? First, label it. Say internally, this is rumination. Naming the pattern activates the rational part of your brain and weakens the emotional loop. Second, Ask yourself, is this solvable right now? If the answer is no, then thinking about it repeatedly is not productive. Third, move your body. Physical movement reduces repetitive thought patterns by shifting brain activation away from internal narrative processing. Fourth, set cognitive boundaries. Tell yourself, I will think about this for 5 minutes. When the timer ends, redirect your focus. And finally, accept uncertainty. Certainty is not required for safety. Most of the time, overthinking is your brain trying to eliminate all unknowns before you move forward. But life does not offer full certainty. Confidence is not the absence of unknowns. It's the willingness to move forward despite them. Overthinking is not a personality flaw. It is a mismanaged protection system. Your brain learned that staying alert keeps you safe. But safety does not come from interrogation of every interaction. It comes from self-trust. Self-trust means believing that if something is wrong, you'll handle it, not dissecting every moment to prevent it. You do not need to decode every pause. You do not need to predict every reaction. You do not need to prepare for rejection before it happens. Most of the time, nothing is wrong. And when something is wrong, you are capable of responding. Understanding this pattern changes everything. Because once you recognize overthinking for what it is, you stop identifying with it. It becomes a mental habit. And habits can be redirected. You don't need to think less. You need to trust more. And that shift changes the way your mind moves through the world.
If you learned something new today, subscribe. Because the next video might expose something you've been missing your whole life. New breakdowns every week. This is Behavior Explained. And now you see it.